Ley-Lines, the key to unlocking the Matrix. Written by Magdalene, the owner of the amazing website maggiesholisticsny.com. Yet again we come across another mysterious force of nature, known as electromagnetic fields of Earth, Schumann Resonance, or better known as ley-lines. The rediscovery of ley-lines in this country is unveiling, apocalypse, Greek for unveiling, the secret of nature. Ley-lines are the luminous strands that many are pulled at today, hardly suspected what riches lay at the end of these subtle light lines. All ley-lines lead to the planetary grid, the primary light and energy matrix, creating, enveloping, and maintaining planet Earth, our Gaia. What are ley lines? A ley line is a straight fault line in the Earth's tectonic plates. This is a scientific fact. Through these cracks in the Earth's tectonic plates, the magnetic energies released are very powerful indeed. Many people have claimed to have felt the urge surge up their body, and some have claimed that they have blacked out, as the surge was that powerful. How long have human beings known about ley lines? Our ancestors have known about these ley lines for thousands of years. Every race and culture on this planet has known about these lines, yet everyone had different names for these lines. All we need to do is look at the ancient cultures of Earth. Take the native Indians of the United States. They used to call ley lines spirit lines, and their shamans used to use the electromagnetic energy in these lines to help them contact the spirits. They even designed their medicine wheel on the spirit lines, as they knew these lines followed a straight round line. How did they know about these lines and energies that they give off? The answer is simple. The sky gods told them. In Europe, we were led to believe that the Druids called them mystical lines. In Wales, they use the same name in Eastern countries. They call them dragon lines. We know that Eastern countries call them dragon lines, as the sky gods flew in dragons along these lines. The Aboriginal people of Australia call these lines dream lines, and once again they claim that this knowledge was passed on to them from the sky gods. The Da Vinci Code was based on René's Le Chateau in France, which is also on a ley line. It is documented that Alexander the Great was guided by Aristotle to take control of the major dome centers of these intersecting ley lines from dark forces, which is why he put his top general, Ptolemy, to rule Egypt. Interestingly, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, alongside with both her husbands, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony of Rome, were defeated by the Romans, where they eventually destroyed the biggest library in Alexandria, Egypt, before taking all the knowledge with them, sending us into the Dark Ages. During the medieval times, anyone who had any knowledge of hermetics was designated a heretic and died a horrible death. This held true for whoever knew how to read or write, a heresy, leaving only the royals and the monasteries literate. Throughout history, all the megalithic structures have been strategically built on top of these so-called lines, from the pyramids of Giza to Stonehenge, Notre Dame, Solomon's Temple, Parthenon, Oracle of Delphi, René Le Chateau, Ziggurat, the Vatican, DC Capitol, Mecca, Hagia Sophia, Aztec Pyramids, Bermuda Triangle, Coral Castle, Tesla's lab in Shoreham, New York, including all nuclear power plants, military bases, and stadiums, which are also used to harness energies, like giant batteries. Many of these sections where two or more ley lines intersect are marked with obelisks, such as Washington, D.C. Monument, Vatican Courtyard, and Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park. These electromagnetic lines of the earth are its veins, and receive its energies from the sun that connects and affects every living thing on this planet. We are electrical, and our atoms surrounded by electrons, electricity. Greg Braden explains it best by asking us, where does our heart get its electrical capacity from? We are connected to the Earth's electromagnetic fields, and our heart is our battery. Many of our ancient spiritual figures knew of this hidden knowledge and meditated or prayed on these lines, or megalithic centers, which elevated their electrical ores, intellect, and connection to higher self through the activation of the 7 energy centers, chakras. Could this in fact be what the golden halos depicted on all spiritual figures throughout history represented? Many of our top intellectual minds, such as Tesla, Einstein, and others, all have something in common. This is, they all at some point have shared that their idea, invention, or formula came to them in a daydream or dream, which is in fact a meditative state of mind. For example, Einstein was very knowledgeable on the physics of Kabbalah, and Tesla became very close with Swami Vivekananda, where through Swami's teachings, realized that his ideas that would come to him in an aha moment were coming from these close interactions with these ley lines, allowing him to access Akashic records. Nikola Tesla, who was born during a terrible thunderstorm and lightning storm, used these ley lines to conduct his famous tower, which would give free energy to all. Of course, there are dark forces as well that are and were knowledgeable of these ley lines, such as secret societies and Hitler, who was very much into esoteric realms and worked very closely with Maria Ositich, also known as Maria Orsic, who was a famous medium who later became the leader of the Vril Society. Might I also add that days before the last blood moon, on September 28, 2015, the Pope came to the US. He gave a speech at the Capitol and then came to New York, where he went from Times Square up to Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park and ended his trip at the Liberty Bell in Pennsylvania. Coincidentally, he went through ley line points. Hidden esoteric knowledge, you think? It is very interesting, and we should take notice that the Swiss lab, CERN, and the Brookhaven lab in New York both sit on ley lines, and both of these labs have a hadron collider that directly impact these ley lines, negatively and or positively. CERN lab is the father of the internet, and if you look at the hadron collider at CERN, you will notice that it strongly resembles a web. Outside of CERN sits a large dome with an opening at the top, same as the dome at St. Basilica in Rome, as well as the dome on the Capitol building, and the same with the top dome of Nikola Tesla's tower. In addition, this lab has a large statue of the Hindu goddess of destruction, Kali, right in front of its greeting entrance. It seems that there is a concentrated effort to affect and manipulate the Earth's electromagnetic fields using these technologies. In a JFK and Eisenhower speech, they both warned the public in detail and referred to this well-converted group of elites as technocrats for a reason. By controlling or influencing the geoelectrical grid, they can affect the Earth. Also indirectly, directly, can control our thoughts and emotions artificially, because we are all connected to Gaia, Mother Earth. Registering, digesting, and ultimately transmuting is the key. We could change the channel if we choose, turn down the volume, fine-tune the specific radio band. The grid engineer has the potential for transmuting, freeing the inherent energy by releasing it from its bondage, the solar celestial energies, by intelligent interfacing with the electromagnetic 1746 grid through any of the 144 planetary roundtable holograms or terrestrial zodiacs on Earth. This grid, we must remember, is the golden alchemical bowl of electromagnetic opposites and the potential of our transfiguration from gravitational bonded humans to humans of light, also known as ascension. Just because our accustomed technocrat elite, Lucifer Lightbearer, aka Fallen Angel of Music, play their favorite tunes on their radio station, doesn't mean we always have to dance to their rhythm. We could change the channel and learn how to use the electromagnetic grid to play a more harmonic tune. Maybe they need a machine because it is only a handful of technocrats attempting to control the masses. When enough are awake and aware, the machine is no match for us. Love and empathy for humanity is key, and right now we are still lacking this, due to the lack of true knowledge. Instead, we are all quick to step on each other's toes, to get where we think we need to be in business, our personal lives, and even within the spiritual communities. The beehive is fragmented, programmed, compartmentalized, and not jiving together, which is needed to thrive together. The introduction and understanding of the reality of the local celestial zodiac clock system brings us to the possible interaction between the human and the grid. This is where the grid engineer and the Knight of the Holy Grail become one. Alchemy. This unification of seeking the Grail and serving the grid is played out in the local geomancy of the zodiac landscape and our direct involvement in this terrestrial grid system through a heightened consciousness interaction within a local zodiac complex. It may sound like a sci-fi movie to you, but these energy points all exist, and even more so, these technocrat elite make all their decisions and agendas based on the celestial terrestrial knowledge. So you better sit up, take notice, and start your diligent research to unveil what they know, for we are in an informational war. And if you don't know the game, then you are no match for the current architects, and that is exactly what they plan on. But how does an ascended individual voluntarily, consciously experience this huge planetary roundtable? And how does the grid engineer make intelligent, compassionate, and timely adjustments in the geomantic web of this fast revolving solar table on Earth? You are hearing this because you are meant to unlock more hidden truths in order to better understand who you are and how we relate to this planet. As above, so below, an overlay of Kabbalah's Tree of Life, with the mythic roundtable, zodiac image is most illuminating. The Earth is one of those 12 resonant spheres, one of the 12 roundtable members, one of the 12 notes in the solar octave, in the solar tree of life. Thus we can picture these relations, either in terms of the tree or round table. Our body of the sun is expressed as a 12-sphered tree of life, with 12 nights or 12 notes. Earth is in Malkuth, the 10th Sephiroth, representing appropriately Earth, the 7th Sephiroth, Had, for example, represents Mercury. In the human body, we have the 7 chakras, which are energetically interdependent and activated sequentially, beginning with the 2nd, proceeding to the 7th, then returning to the 1st, the root, the seed of Kundalini, the fundamental, creative, cosmic, evolutionary energy. Similarly, in this model, the Earth has a chakra system, arranged not in atomical, but energy sequence, at 7 key dome centers. An Earth chakra, such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, in Egypt, or at Glastonbury Tor, England, is a huge energy vortex, several miles in immediate diameter. Root 1 Chakra, Mount Shasta, California. Red, raw, biological life force, energy, precursor to devastation into individual life forms. Sacral, second chakra, Lake Titicaca, Peru, but also includes Machu Picchu. Orange, creation of a new species, and positive evolution, specification of pure life force into individuals. Solar plexus, third chakra, Uluru and Katatuja, Australia. Twin monolithic sites, golden yellow, maintenance of the vitality of Earth and all of its species, immortalization of life force. Heart, fourth chakra, Glastonbury and Shaftesbury, England. Green, pink, representing the Holy Grail and the sacred spear of purpose, respectively. Throat, fifth chakra, Great Pyramid, Mount Sinai and Mount of Olives. Middle East, blue, voice of the earth emerging, listening to the will of the earth's needs to be mastered. Third eye, sixth chakra, mobile chakra, shifts every 150 to 200 years. Currently coincides with World Heart Chakra in Western Europe. Purple, indigo, moves 1/12 of the way around the world westward at the dawning of every new eon. Distills gathered wisdom of life on earth for collective advancement of consciousness, aligned with astrological sequences. Crown, seventh chakra, Mount Kailash, Himalayan mountains, Tibet, white. Broadcast the earth's purpose or true will. Each dome vortex carried through the grid, some have been activated, but otherwise, humankind has either not been aware of this divine potential or not bothered to make use of them to create the intended earth paradise. The option, however, still remains. Because of their heightened electromagnetic fields, the dome enclosures were like immaculate, high consciousness meditation halls where human awareness could be healed, uplifted, even interdimensionally transported through the dome exit points in the House of the Gods, facilitated by megalithic engineering. All megalithic structures, famous estates, obelisks, and historical sites are all on these ley lines and can be influenced and experienced in mass to elevate and change the current matrix. The hermetic keys to the planetary grid are inscribed on the messenger's mythical emerald tablets, which summarize the 7th hermetic principles underlying all manifestation. These are the keys to the Hermes Geomancy, the 7 keys to higher levels of consciousness. Number 1. The principle of mentalism. The universe is mental, the all is infinite mind, which is the fundamental reality and the womb of all universes. Number 2. The principle of correspondence. Whatever is below is like unto which is above, and whatever is above is like that which is below, to accomplish the miracles of the One. Number 3. The principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves and vibrates. Number 4. The principle of polarity. Everything is dual, has poles and pairs of opposites. Number 5. The principle of rhythm. Everything has its tides, its rise and fall, its equal pendulum swings, to the right and left, its peaks and throughs. Number 6. The principle of causation. Every effect has its cause, and every cause has its effect, all proceeding by law, never by chance. Number 7. The principle of gender. Everything has its masculine and feminine aspects. Experimental knowledge of Hermes principles, through meditative and interfacing with the earth grid, leads us to the secrets of geomancy. I believe that if more are aware of this natural phenomenon, break our mental bonds to the material matrix and take action locally as groups on these ley lines that could be found all over the planet, then we could take back what is rightfully ours and positively manifest paradise on earth as the true empathetic, intellectual light beings we were intended to be. Human. Hue equals light being. Knowledge is power, and applied knowledge is freedom. I would like to give a very special thank you to Magdalene, the founder of MaggieSholisticsNY.com. Check out our website, and please check out our supplement product line.